Greetings viewers, this video covers an adventure I undertook in 2017. For several years I've been going on off-road tours whenever I've been in Spain for holidays, typically taking a day out to go off on an enduro bike into the Spanish hills. Firstly, in 2011 I went out with an outfit called Red Tread when they were based in Compita. At the time they had an arrangement with Honda and were using CRF 250s. Then I went out with them again in 2014 when they were based in Nerja, this time on a Yamaha WR250F. In 2016 I rode for a day with Riders of the Lost Trail, sadly no longer in existence, on a KTM XT660Z. And so in 2017 I was trying to arrange a ride, but with no success. None of the tour companies were able to accommodate me on the days I wished to ride. So instead I came up with my own plan. As was usual, we would be hiring a car, which we would drive from Malaga Airport to our accommodation. So I decided I would travel from our hostel in Grazalema to Marbella in the morning, rent a bike from Mercado in Marbella, and leave the car in a car park overnight. I would then ride the bike down the coast road to Tarifa to begin the southernmost section of the Trans-European Trail in Spain, turning off at the right point to return home to the hostel in the evening. The following day I would ride the bike back with my better half on the pillion, retracing some of the easier parts of the route. After returning the bike to the rental shop, we would then pick up the car from the car park and return to the hostel. Not only did this give me greater freedom, but I was also getting the use of a bike for an extra day, all for the same price as a one-day tour, around €150 at the time, which seemed like a great alternative. I should say at this point that the route of the Trans-European Trail has changed since 2017, and if you intend to do a ride like this, you should do your own research to determine the legality of the route. I very much follow the mantra, arrive quickly, leave no trace, and then disappear quickly. So after an early morning drive from Grazalema to Marbella, I parked the car and then went to the shop to pick up the bike. The weather was great and I enjoyed a leisurely drive down the coast, getting used to my new steed, ending up at this viewpoint with a cafe overlooking the Straits of Gibraltar, where the story begins. I rented the smallest of off-road capable bikes the rental had, a Yamaha XT660Z. Oddly, I was really rather taken with the novelty of having this displayed on my GPS. The excitement really was building for what the rest of the day would bring. Here we are, within touching distance of Africa. You can probably see it through the trees there. Look over here, you can perhaps see a little better. Straits of Gibraltar, the blue cow down there. Straits of Gibraltar. It's the road down there into Tarifa. All the windmills, which we're going to take in a moment. Stop to rig everything up. And we can mount trusty steed for the trip. XT660Z Tenere. Very nice it is too. Wouldn't like to have to fight it into a mud hole, but it's good for this. As I was riding the last section of the coast road down to Tarifa, I was struck by the colour of the water. I've never seen a blue like it. I guess I was just lucky because it wasn't the same the day after. So this is the first road section between Pedro Valiente and the first trail. This was just under 13 kilometres on a nice easy B road. Here we are at the beginning of the southern end of the Trans-European Trail in Spain. As you can see, it's pretty flat and pretty windy next to the sea. Can't believe the colour of the water. It was strange, but I must admit that the significance of riding this small road had grown out of all proportion to the fact that it was really just a recently made up route. I still remember vividly how I felt at that moment, how grateful I was to be in that position, to be capable and equipped to ride a motorcycle on an adventure such as this. To unfamiliar eyes, the scenes unfolding around every corner are a revelation, and sometimes an education as well. I hadn't ridden that far before I decided to stop in the shade of this tree to have a closer look at the bike and to savour the moment for that little bit longer. So viewers, that's where we'll leave it for the first part of the journey. I hope you'll join me for the next instalment where we'll tackle the first trail.